So, so here's the everything to know about tonight's at WrestleMania Night 1. Here's the everything in the all entitled WrestleMania Night 1. So, here's the everything to break down tonight's. Here's the everything in the all results. So, we're gonna get one notification on all my experiences below, right here on my YouTube. All my experiences below. So, if you want to check out on my second channel, you may get two super waves and so much more. So, I like WrestleMania Night 1 tonight. It was a fastic show. So, I think we talking about WrestleMania Night 1 was a fastic. So, so I'll go with WrestleMania Night 1. I'll go with 9 without a 9. So, I think WrestleMania was okay, but it was a really good time to show. So, so here's the anything about WrestleMania Night 1. Here's the anything to know about tonight. So, we go live right here. So, here's first off. So, have set of forces and idle speed taking on against the Usos and the Megastar every night. I did last time in full Athens, the Megastar every night, the Uso and Semi also underrating the MMTs on Raw April 13th. Austin Theory and Logan Paul are defeating the Usos to pick up the win. So the World Tag Team Championships on Raw March 30th. And this was a debut match for Awesome Speed. So I just had a guest to host of John Cena. I was open to the show to talk about the discussion around at WrestleMania 42 in premieres. I just said the talent was way too level for the fans. I just said a full match. It started with every night and Arthur Speed, who tied to the show out with his encounter, but this was could not with the American star of the down to the stretch. And Austin Theory grew more annoying with speed. It wasn't Cody hitting him, the followed by running into a BFT. After from every night for the face to the win. Also afterward, the Maverick built a speed. He was intended to put him through the announce table. After the face, he was hope speed. Also introduced him to a Fox Brass and a party to the table and then to celebrate with the Usos. And this was a terrible opener for WrestleMania, not because I just thought the match was bad, but because it wasn't interesting, this came off as a TV tag team match. That was a net lost a half its time, and somehow this lasted only 7 minutes. It was lacking any will, and therefore the piece of posing up top moments. After it was blind, forgettable absence outside of its one initiative. Its feet was the stall of the match from to the start to finish, and I got the only interesting spots. I was a 12, the person working well has the person athletes next to a point to every night, the megastar alongside supposed match absence with a maverick putt over speed better than many individual members of the WWE roster. After how it will be on, this supposedly setting up speed versus Logan Paul at Backlash, and wasn't that serves no long-term purpose to WWE. This was a forgettable match. I just for a moment that this was suffice only to put over a one-off sibling and went on this match every night, say also and Simi also. After of John Cena has a question of whether he might have been picked to host because of the passing to build has Wrestlemania this year. And it is a good thing that they tested something new. Also, Steam wasn't it without it back to save music before Wrestlemania to get a pop-up of heating at the big show. And it also it will have been more energy for the Usos and every night to come out together to show and it will has a trail has the heel team. So I like his series of hosting. It says Sunset welcomes us to WrestleMania 42. I from this a long Sony and found a 17-time champion is back settling and a new Turn and Go is back. I like with the scenes in merchandise is WrestleMania we know a competent rigid suit, but for the people who spent also a decades for you, it celebrates and care for the people who gave them the award. I know what the heck is is this Las Vegas crowd, so quote, this is not here. So Sanity in a suit is hard to believe he's really since retired. I'm glad to have you back for a hot minutes before John Cena. So I get up every night, said, yeah. Every night says became a top guy anyone wants to see walk out at the biggest moments or from now on. As you see so much every night bosses and videos, it lit also that he will drive so a truck is off stage. So that's pretty hilarious. Into of 89 biggest interest is straight follow then Ram truck has arrived. So yeah, I like where the Apollo crowd went nuts and megastar energy ready to kick off Wrestlemania. So I wasn't nothing humble about this entrance from the forces in and the Oslo speed. I like that the cape goes hard. Oslo speed says told Logan Paul and Austin Ferry. Diddy really invested Oslo speed and hype him up, give him in his entrances for Logan too. Now for him, the setup was perfect. So, into the fight between Logan Paul is started with Oslo speed. And Logan Paul said, "Not so fast, kid." And just said the Oslo speed is my highlights and any on YouTube. I just still don't understand. I'm just commercials during a pay-per-view event. I was to talk about wow. Every night is also saving speed from Logan Paul was not on my WrestleMania bingo card. And this match ended in the most very good way possible to the opener. So I think do you think can Oslo Speed turn on and go on a title run? I think he should be a title pistol, I think. So into when Oslo Speed has brass on Logan Paul to announce table. So this was amazing for that. If you still don't know that the WWE is a stunt show and you cook beyond a cook. So here's a stars all out tonight at Wrestlemania. So's Kale. Oh hey guys, thank you for the comment. Here's the next match. We have a Stasis match. Drew McIntyre against Second Fight 2. After up last time in 4 asses, Second Fight 2 undefeating Tama Tonga on SmackDown April 10th, and Drew McIntyre lost to Cody Rhodes to lose the WWE Championship on SmackDown March 6th. So I was thinking to get Fight 2 stomp onto Drew McIntyre during his entrance to start this match. It was hot. I think it did not take long for it to start. It pointed out of the weapons to get more on it. And Jesus got his world marking Simone Werewolf as he He wasn't told at a time if any pointed out his boiler, his cellphone for his bathboard at work of tweaks. Second fall to hit somebody missile put in their fall has Michael called a question. What if this was the first time that anyone had a kick out of it? The real Magatar caught Samoan werewolf with extreme simplex that bed it was still seal. Was followed by a claymore put in their fall and you think it signified too to a table outside and you said Scott and wasn't that he had an easy opening to win signified to fall back. So this was a toolbox. So this was a box like this and just in the face and hit a second mighty missile into a table to the wind. And this may have been the strongest story built up with any masses at Wrestlemania, so it was not surprising that it landed so well into the ring. And it was important that the two were somewhat, and it was starting from the full forces technically expanding in a escasses encounter, but they lived on what was allowed to them. In popular a custom of both bait men made them look like really excitable warriors was going to a war. I just vocally, since escasses match of results do not doesn't count in the regular books. I just between results could only go one way. So get far to need this win and get a hang with a mere job with his webs. And that should put him into the world title pistol to be on set the soul of souls. Into of Cody Rose or Randy Orton will be Russell's next rivalries for the Samoan werewolf into WWE. So this rivalries goes at some point with bigger stakes. This was to depending on how Cody Rose and his major audience lands, and there will be a strong arguments to be made that to McIntyre against Second Fight 2 will have been a better undisputed Jamie Simpson match. So, in the winner of this match, Second Fight 2. After of Samoan Werewolf set the standard for a special WrestleMania entrance with a flagship follow jogging in his communal werewolf. His title was also plastic. Agent made a second fight to pull out of the toolbox and causing to McIntyre PTSD from head to seal. Agents almost spotted Logan's spot in this match, but the Scottish Warrior is trying to poke at Second Fight's eyes with a glance into McIntyre. The baby referee trial is showing his belt and knocking him around when he got in there false. WWE body has blood in masses, but this could have used some positive for Second Fight too. Down certain stretch, this is against damage. So, so here's the next match. We have women's tag titles. Invisible Force taking on against Solid Flair and Alexa Bliss, taking on against Bailey, LaFakia, taking on against Brie Bella and Paige. A last time in it for as a Solid Flair and Alexa Bliss against Bailey and LaFakia is ended in a no contest on SmackDown, April 17th. 96 and lasted lesson on defeating Bailey and LaFakia to defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on Raw, while starting with Brie Bella and Paige alongside with Alicia Fox, Eva Marie, and Natalia, on defeating Emma, Lana, Summer Rae, Naomi, and Tamina Snuka at WrestleMania 32 kickoff episode. This it was on 2016. So I watched that show before since 2016. I've seen that part of that. Nikki Bella came out in a just walking boot and still not cleared to compete. It was revealed that returning has Paves, who will team with Brie for a night. I just set a full as it started slow into Paves got a hot tag as he was focused off to the Asses from that point on. Lazar Wilson it hits a fourth premature finish of the night when it lasts. It was scheduled on for Korea, but Paves and Solid sent both out and called back to their own history. But with a strike, it sings. So Queen named out Paves with a national expresses, but Nikki struck Solid with whole crosses. The goddess went with a twisted bliss right into the knees and Paves followed by a rampage for the win. After a match with 8 women involved, and this felt like it was all about one women. The title time, there was a nice spot for Paige, who looked so in her in-ring return. As it was not a complete big surprise. It was giving her just the AEW title run to last year's 2024. Daniel Betsy fit well in the Scarlet of all asses. And it was a scene that this return all sorrow, everyone else a forgettable and sloppy open acting lead into above top lessons in last lesson in sacks as well as Bailey in the pocket disappointing for the home stretch. And just said the title win makes sense to pop a crowd that was only focusing on one women down the stretch, but this is luckily to be a long title rings but once. Nikki Bella is clear, see and Brie, but want to be a tag team champions. I think either they will lucky turn on Pace onto the road to set a goal. I think long term it will be interesting to see what Pace can do with this stack of women's full roster. It wasn't for a legacy wasn't cut short by its first neck surgery. It's been doing this in 2 years. So, in the one on this match, Paves, Inkly, Butter. Ancient Rainbows came out in a positive Gothic fairy wings and whole gear in the black and white. Agent Water is solid, has arrived. Agent Red brought a colorful gear, excited, playful wings, and 96 and lesson with a white, the Ebenezer's inspired gear was a new WWE Hall of Famers, and so was it in the entire crowd. Margaret Court suddenly stated the state. I understand that no one should have been has this page return coming when it was linked by Mike Sasson, a Payton himself was on Friday. I think a co-post has paved it last lesson with funny to the apron. Hopefully it is alright. So here's the next match. We have Women's Intercollege Championship. Daisy Lee goes 1-on-1 against Becky Lynch. I did last time in Fall Athens. Daisy Lee has been undefeated married to a squabble defend the Women's Intercollege Championship on Raw in March 16th. Becky Lynch lost to Daisy Lee to lose her championship, and men's symbol was on February 28th. Becky Lynch came in hitting against Daisy Lee and only in this contest, but the champions refused to stay down. Daisy fought of a man handle slam and tossed it into a black window. Daisy Lee fought off a man. Okay, I'll just wait that long time ago. Iron Hope into the ropes, followed by a scaffold man handle slam plus a force of near fall. And just the man and then it sings both and says with referee Jessica Carr is setting up Becky Lynch for a manhandle slam from the champions for her own fall. And Becky Lynch pulled to the hill to escape the black window. The man then is both the Charlie Buckle, Liz Jessica Kill has it suit and sent Daisy Lee into the Charlie Buckle followed by a second man handle slam to the win. I think this was an over-the-top sparkle play on the full story that built just rapid it was. The Connors, Daisy Lee, and Becky Lynch have worked together, but they did not try as much this time around. I guess the focus was Becky Lynch making her way past Daisy Lee by forcing Jessica Call, the two focusing on the central office of Epic on Jocelyn squashes sparkling down the stretch. It was a show has a performance from both women's, but it did not live up to the men that made it spotlight put open it. Daisy Lee title wings was normally a disappointment as it would have been nice to see more title defense before Hope may lose. Anya instead said title is back on Becky Lynch and she needs someone else to step up to try to take Holt's championship away. So, Anya is hard to say whether this was the right move, but because it is down to how much EC3 will appear going forward. When she is around on a regular basis, she should still be a champion. Where she is going to disappear for its threats again and move on to a new rivalry and Becky Lynch names a talent she has defended back on her shoulders. I think it would be a good idea to move on from these rivalries. Also hesitant to have limits in this chemistry to go with the women's intercall championship should be to focus on the wrestler this has a talent. And the winner on this match, Becky Lynch. Anderson and Man got surrender used live for her entrance. ACV came out with two just as young fans in Madison Gales with a title of their own. Becky Lynch got into it with referee Jessica Call when she got to the ring, also her personal rivalry with the opposite they continue to saw Shaq during the match itself, with Jessica call her insane. Into of Wayne Barrett was a delightful Wrestling man throughout this match, and this makes Becky Lynch a three-time women's intercall champion. 3 in all have each won and only once each. So here's the next match. We have Seth Rollins against Gunter. After last time in 4 absence, Gunter has been undefeated, Dragon Lee on March 2nd, as it was undefeated Cody Rhodes, cancel of last year's October 11th. After Gunter attacked Rollins, has he tried to take off his jacket and stood apart around the ring. After the piece of slope was delivered into the squad circle, and he began to hit Haymakers a big offers to pursue the piece. After Gunter comments the pedigree, Wallace he was slipped to his gap into his stump for the enforcement fall. After a career killer locked in a sleeper hole was the first time in Wallace wanted to fight free. The first hit Sepers into a vacuum auto into a sleeper of his own and Gunter slipped free to the outside Wallace dive onto the Estonia but got caught with a pair of power bombs. And Wallace responded with a pedigree. The stomp also announced table. After we saw tonight, it was Von Wagner made his full return. After a high speed on Wallace into the barricade and Gunter locked in our sleeper hole and knocked out the adversary. After Paul Heyman raised his hand onto the stage afterward, Michael Cole called out multiple times and that this was not going to be a 5-star classic, but a level 8 fight, and that Muslim may have in his back from listening his best from it was the best Paul asses. And it also a night to this point, but for Wrestlemania in place will the both Gunter and Wallace have shown to the show before this was not up to their high standard. After the career kill was sitting exhausted at the 10-minute mark, and once the piece is full, it made a crowd that will feel the science and build-ups at moments later, better. After the crowd listening energy may be down to a strong and girl to build also last couple of weeks, but wasn't going to should have had more lesson support and heating when they get a crowd. After the wing, also this brand has seen should be a versatile number one contender after WrestleMania Rollins has a strong program, also hustle with Braun Breaker that has a sense to assign anything from the soul of souls. And winner on this match is Gunter. Instead of Rollins came out in smoking gear, a pro black. This content licensed Michael Cole compares the look oddly to a Game of Thrones informing. As a cosmic crowd response had Wallace has begging to the fans for the reaction in a key. The announce table did not give at no matter what Wallace and Winter did. Suppose match and Bombinger won into the spill was the coldest spot of the night. So here's the next match. So Ajay Women's World Championship is on the line. Stephen Piquet goes 1-on-1 against Liv Morgan. I think last time in Athens, Stephen Piquet on the plane with Kill on March 16th, the Morgan alongside with Kill lost to say Colgate in Southern Grace on SmackDown in February 6th. After Liv Morgan started a strong with a springboard power bomb out for the corner in the Southern Gale to set up a frog splash. Also up late of a gorilla late, becoming it named to the giver's kiss. Anya Liv went for her own devil's kiss but for kill, coming into a SVB and it enforces for the Indian Falls. Walter Perez arrived to establish the referee for a Raquel Rodriguez attack on Raquel, followed by also for the Isaki Indian Falls. Anderson lived in Raquel aside followed by a springboard just to the floor. The Morgan sent her into the skill step, followed by a second for celebratory, and Dominic Mysterio arrived afterward to celebrate the win alongside with Raquel and Roxanne Perez. And this said have gone longer and allowed both women to do more than such head hook do. Such offense, but they made the most of the time they had. Agent Liv was before entrance. It may have been tied before the bill long, but she hit her off the clean and it would slow down. Inflicate was closely strong throughout, but she was clearly ready to go all at 10 minutes. As at last, after hopefully a rematch will get more time, the spotlight has this feud that should have multiple matches. Liv Morgan was always the opponent to the Women's World Championship who knew Dean and highlights that Daddy David wants to go has possible with her, and she still has much to prove, but she's currently much more ready to be a world champion now than she was when she first won set ago. And the winner of this match, Liv Morgan. After years before, this massive WWE Hall of Fame class of 2026 was prepared also the stage, and Liv Morgan had a full dance routine to her new theme with the backup dancers that help her with a blending spills, inspired strip. The new theme is still loved to hear such has an entrance. The market might want to consider in a personal singer to cover it. Instead, the kid came out a possibly dramatic deal that was dragging walls behind her, but one of the loudest reactions of the night was for kill. And there was kiss, and Morgan Cole has arrived a prize to Wayne Barrett to keep this status quo. So this was a big breaking news of EST. Bianca Belair has announced her primacy. After Sansa appeared before the main event to announce the attendance for night 1 has 58-16 in attendance. After we saw Bianca Belair, they made her big surprise return just in the ring, referring she was pregnant, and she was asked that Sansa and her sorry to be just in attendance for the show. As it is hard to grade the moments like this it is such a personal moment for the EST of WWE. But it was present as a WWE moment in this settings. I bear that in mind. This is a bittersweet because since Bianca Belair has already been off ill for a year with her finger surgery. After her she has much time as she needs to take care of her sorrow before returning. When she does return, the EST will not be a top star again soon. And it was a big surprising that this was it instead of John Cena appears on night 1. plus a basic price match. The Pummels Southman is waiting for a night too. Address of 5817 number sounds likely to indicate deposit. Jelly returns to roughly it was under last year's number of 58,538 true. It was odd to not see below Tasman marches forward, so this moment was an EST. So this is as our main event tonight. So we have Jenny Reed Championship Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton. Last time in Athens, Randy Orton undefeated Matt Cardona on SmackDown March 27th, and Cody Rhodes undefeated Drew McIntyre to become the new WWE champion on SmackDown March 6th. So, this was until Pat McAfee stole this microphone from Leslie Taylor and gave Randy Orton a high pommel heat and he blasted Rhodes with a mic before the bell. That's wrong. After the ball, just as I saw a Sunny Road arrived to elbow and on Pat McAfee to the announce table. He was stressed out for a while. Randy Orton was refused to get into the ring with Cody Rhodes. So, after that was it started to fumble quickly, so witness highlighting Pontus reached to his knees in his back, and that the American Nightmare has a target. Randy Orton could not even pull off his sensor off AKO till a time when he started to make his comeback and was sent to fumble into a steel post outside and busted him open, a cover of blood on his face. The American Nightmare beat down Randy Orton only to get caught by a close Rose and responded with an RKO for a near fall. It wasn't walked into an RKO for a near fall. The American Nightmare responded with an eye poke on his left eye. It was really bad. After that caused Randy Orton closely of RKO. And referee Charles Robinson is a follow-up was low blow Orton on a dive into RKO on Pat McAfee has returned a referee to count, but Rose kicked out before a 3. And Randy Orton RKO Pat McAfee for falling him and then got caught with a close Rose for an epic win. Also afterward, Randy Orton struck Rose with the undisputed championship title. So Randy Orton's got a title on his hands. It was into Cody Rhodes got a title. And he flipped the title to Randy Orton. And he was hit the title and hit Rose on his head. On a night when nothing else was just moved at a small pace, but the story was morning clear betrayal, but it started with a heel torn Randy Orton a face, Cody Rhodes correctly accepted. The American Nightmare kept mocking the fumble a while, and Randy Orton tried to feed onto the spread and will allow him to win. I guess the aggressive of the recipient makes sense. For the full story, the build was a witness of Orton in a crowd that was already. I wasn't invested survival victory lead to an easy double 248 mil in this area. Also how it will just commentary continue to hop on that Rose was only doing what he was doing to insult. Randy Orton increases it by to set it in. Survivor had and himself has a solo here in Russell while Rose was still the champion. And it was to the point of this slow medical mess of a piece. Why did Rose come off for more has here only to referring it losing when the origin has a foreign. So I just fall as in this match with heavy on a crowd that wasn't for more invested in this conscious than anything else, but to the match that led down to the fans when a climax and Rose was wins in Steve's to the face when he understands tall to enter the fourth night of Wrestlemania without Cody raising a towel to the fans wanting him to win. Instead the crowd looked bountiful unless there is a dramatic follow-up for night 2. And this did not live up to the storytelling. In essence, was it also the main event spot. And it was simply a way to keep moving this story forward that had already lost many of the fans in its current existence. In the middle of this match, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, involved the court to confirm that this process with Pat McAfee has come to an end. And when the Orton walked so slowed down to see the ring that he and Pat McAfee entrance could have doubled to a length of one up to the women's matches and double all one with a ridiculous dramatics in Rose into his Sunny with a Batman-like busting of his past looks. Also double to the sword for how long the main event goes was delayed to stress out Pat McAfee, and McAfee did the thumbs up, and that turned into a middle finger as he was carried off. There was an overall show. And for all the conflict hype about WrestleMania 42, the sponsor was that the talent will overdraw into the week for a massive crowd and getting made so that did not happen. So masses across and most of us at night made the women's asses possibly look scary. After the main event moved Pat McAfee out of the way, moving up yet. Cody was in Randy Orton struggled to a little. So as suspended in just moments. I just said a story wasn't confused. Into the absence was slung, sunless, and Pat McAfee returned to get RKO. And the only follow-up was to say that maybe alternate roles would have better match. Into Indian Fuso. Idea of Goodall against Seth Rollins was good, but not scarce at the soul. At WrestleMania great. And Drew McIntyre against Second Fight 2 was the best match of the night. I knew but so McGrady may not end up amongst the best of the year for WWE. As the most painful of all, Beyond pays the sudden return, so whether the of the night was back at will, moments of even McMorgan, the so world title win was Harry up night 2 has so much to live up to in terms of sudden disuse. Has it really injustice to the WWE King of WrestleMania? So it was really good on this match. So let's go to my YouTube live polls right away. So we have 71% really liked it of WrestleMania. 7% liked it, and 29% didn't like it. So let's go to my Twitter poll goals. Give me 1 second. So we're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes. So we have 7% really liked it, 7% is alright, and 7% didn't like it. So let's go to our notes. Here's 99 Hot with Second Fight 2 backstage. Okay, so it's still the story continues. Cody was a still ill on his body, getting read champion, and just wasn't a training card on 2K26. Here's Pat McAfee. About 1 hour he tweet this out. He's got his brace on his neck. So let me show you guys a quick moment. So here's Pat McAfee when he was wearing his on his neck, right here he was around on his brace on his neck. So here's the next one. So here's the brace part of the back with the body twins, Nikki and Bree, and the former David champion has returned, has Paves. Welcome home, Paves. So let me see a couple more things here. Let me see. Is it a performance to be proud of easily itself? So get it, Corey Graves. So I'm gonna see Ace Styles is now of WWE Hall of Fame. He's my top favorites of all time of TNA wrestler of so many years with Vicky Casillion. Wait, I'll see at Wrestlemania tonight, and I see you, a former, a former WWE superstar, Ted Jesse Barcelona has arrived at WrestleMania 42. What are you doing here tonight at WrestleMania? So this is him. Ted Jesse Barcelona was at. He was sitting down on his seat. So that's really him. So what's Ted Jesse Barcelona doing at WrestleMania? So Jesse Ted Jesse Barcelona is at Exciting Stadium at WrestleMania 42 tonight. He was wearing his sunglasses. So I think he might sawing, I think. So I think I was surprised he was at WrestleMania 42. Was it all three members of a legacy is under one roof again? Soon. So this was the span of 2 years. Cody Rhodes, Jesse Barcelona, and Randy Orton at once. I'm hoping this tag team again soon. So that's what you see. So I think so Nikki Bella is selling her foot as she's causing her this angle her foot. It's very badly. For about 2 weeks. And so Henry managed to back a title. So here's a Star Wars movie is coming out on Fiddles. Will be on IMAX on May 22nd. So you never know who you run into at WrestleMania. Get your tickets now. Just watch the Star Wars. The money in only in Fiddles, and IMAX will be starting on May 22nd. So let me see. So May 22nd on Fiddles will be on Friday. So get your tickets. It will go on sale. It'll be on May 22nd on this coming Friday next month. And more. I think. So his Lana is at WrestleMania tonight with her dad. His Angle, Kenneth Rock, and Booker T. So let me show you guys on that one here. Let me wrap this up. So here's Booker T, Kringle, and Consent Walk. So that's it for this week's. So I hope you guys have a great Saturday. And I'll be back here tomorrow at Wrestlemania Night 2. So we get more schedule, Spotify Occupy Spotify Radio, the podcast Energy is so much more. So I hope you guys have a great Saturday. I'll be back here tomorrow at night 2. I second this time, have a great night. And I second this time, oh hey guys. So also your comments, while I also read. Thank you so much for this comment. So if you guys want to hang out on tomorrow night at Wrestlemania Night 2, when I go live sometime tomorrow. So next time when I play my game on live stream soon, we can hang out soon and talk about a lot of things. So that's all that we have for this week's. So I hope you guys have a great night. And I second this time, I'll see you guys tomorrow at Wrestlemania Night 2. I second this time, have a good one, guys. Peace.